Hey everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So starting today and the next several days, I have some custom orders to fill. So I will not be making up my own ideas for the next several days. So this first one, because it's on a time crunch, is another beach clock. I did one not too long ago, but I think I want to perfect the UV resin waves in this one, and hopefully you might see a little bit better what I was going for, because the first one I kind of messed it up. So this is for Jan, and while I'm pouring resin, I need to make 2 more elk for someone else, and the elks are going to be 1 pinky keen and 1 in gold mica powder. That's what they asked for, and then I'll probably bling them up after I get them out. But the main focus is going to be the clock. And I'm going to do the UV resin wave technique, which you use high viscosity UV resin. Now, a couple days ago, I got this from Liz. It's a mold release. I haven't used it before, so today I am going to use it for the first time. I've already sprayed this mold. I have sprayed the elk molds and the little antlers. So hopefully it works great. She said to let it dry, but it doesn't seem to dry because there's like a lubricant in there. So I don't know what dry means when she said let it dry before you use it. So I'm going to first pour a little bit of this UV resin into a cup so I can get my white. And I don't need much white, just a little bit. I'm going to be blowing it with a straw just so I have more control over the waves, and I'm not sure how many cells are going to form because I don't have heat for it, but we're going to try to get the best we can. Now, if it doesn't work great, it's at the point where I can wipe it off. So I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. Grab a stick real quick. You don't need much white. That was 1 drop and just a tiny bit of resin. And I think I'm going to do probably, if it works, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I think I'm going to do a wave right here and then up here. Because I'm going to put this sand, this is the Virginia Beach sand that I got from another, you guys are always sending me stuff. So like a lot of this stuff are from viewers, so this is awesome. I'm going to do the sand at the bottom again. I will UV resin in some shells after the waves. So I want the waves on the front of the clock. Now this is the back of the clock. Whoops. This is the back of the clock. So I'm working backwards. I wouldn't normally do a wave until very last. But because I can't do the wave last, I have to do it first. So I don't really know the outcome until we unmold it. So what I'm going to do, I want to blow the wave over thick resin, and I think I'm going to do the wave right here. I'm just going to pour a nice, like 1/2 inch of resin. And this one is that, like I said, the high viscosity, so it is thicker. And depending on how I can get it to flow will depend on if I put another wave up top. So I'm going to be using turquoise and also aqua for the 2 colors after the sand is put in. Okay, so I'm just going to take my white and I'm going to go at the edge of this resin here. Not too much because it's a small mold. Then I'm just going to take this straw, let me set that aside, and I'm going to blow the wave. I do see some cells forming. Now I do want a little bit more white here though. So I'm going to cure this one. That looks really good. Just wondering if I spray alcohol, if that's gonna No, it's not going to separate any cells for me. Let me try a lighter. Actually, I got to let the alcohol dissipate. I got to put you on a pause for a minute. Okay, that was a couple minutes. So hopefully all the alcohol's gone. I just want to see if this lighter will make me some extra cells. Because a lot of times they separate in heat. No, it didn't really. But it's flowing down into that line, so... I'm going to cure it and hopefully get that. Actually, I probably better get it out now because it's not where I want it. Because if it cures right there, it's not really what I'm looking for. I'm going to cure it right now. All right, that one's cured. I'm going to try a small, I think I'm going to try a small one right here and see what happens. If I don't like it, I'll just peel it off after it's cured. I don't know if that's going to be too much for this little clock or not. A little bit of white. I'm going to cure it, see what it looks like. So I'm just flipping it over and trying to get a feel for what it's going to look like. And I think it's going to be okay. I think I'm going to do another one right there. Because there's going to be a transition of color. So I kind of wanted each color to have a wave. In my head, that's what I think would look good. I hope this comes out okay. Cure that. Whoops, let me get some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to get the bottom of the light too, and I am going to cure it from underneath. That way it will be solid on both sides. Goodness, you guys, I have too much stuff on my board. It's all falling over. So if you stick it in the dual light, you could do both sides at once. But you have to make sure these little doohickeys are lined up or they won't go on, which mine were not. There they go. All right, I'm going to cure it for quite a while right now. As I was mixing my resin, I realized I forgot to put my seashells in. And I'm going to put a starfish in as well. So I'm going to quick do that. I've split my resin 3 ways. 2 ounces, 3 ways, because the elks take 2 ounces, and I'm going to do 2 ounces with the sand. So what I'm going to do is kind of place some of these things here. Maybe a little pearl. Whoops, sticking to me. And some seashells. Whoops. Some tiny ones, because it's a tiny little scene. And hopefully the light will cure it. I'm sure the light will cure it from underneath. I'll do some over here. And while that's curing, I will mix up the glitter for the little elk. make sure they're facing the way you want them to face. Like, I don't want all the holes from the shells showing, so I'm trying to flip them over. Plus the UV resin will stop them from being swallowed by the sand, you know what I mean? Let's put a little pearl over here. I think I'm going to move this. All right, let's get that curing. I don't know, is that how I want it? Maybe spread them out a little bit. I hope that's okay. I'll check before I pour anything in there. So let's get this curing for a few minutes. Get these put away before I spill everything. Okay, so let's mix up the gold mica powder first. Nice amount in there. I'm curious to see how well the mold release is going to work. Actually, I want to spray alcohol in there too. So this is my test because I don't know. Haven't tried with the mold release and alcohol, but I do like my alcohol trick that gets rid of the bubbles in these molds. That looks pretty good, so I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Let me get this one mixed up at the same time. This one I'm just going to dump a whole bunch of glitter in. I've made her a pink one before, and I think a family member took it from her, so she's taking another one from me. They are adorable. You can't help but fall in love with these little guys. Let me grab the alcohol. And we are going to try this. I'm going to do this one first, only because if there's any mica powder not mixed up, I'm giving it a few extra minutes to come to the surface. A little more. These don't take much, but they come out nicer if you dome them. Okay, now I'm just going to pour this in about halfway, squish around the eyes, make sure they get in there, because that is some chunky glitter in there. These hold about 2 ounces each. Well, basically exactly 2 ounces each, because that's what I mixed up and that's what I used. Dome the bottom a little bit, and then I'm going to do this one. So the mica powders, I don't see any on the top. Then I'm going to have to figure out how to move these out of the way so I can continue on with the beach. So that's good for those. And the same thing with this one. Pour it halfway, squish it around the eyes, and then we just wait for curing. Figure out how I'm gonna make these guys cute. Make sure it gets in that little tail. Again, exactly 2 ounces, whether you put glitter in it or mica powder. Did not matter, it took the whole thing. All right, now I'm gonna just move these out of the way, maybe back in the corner, and we'll get to the clock. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put sand in my cup first, about what I think I'm gonna need. I'm gonna add resin to my sand instead of adding sand to my resin, because if I don't need all this resin, I don't wanna use it for this. I want a thick paste so it doesn't run. Then I can place it exactly where I want, turn the heat mat on, get it cured. And then I can move on to the next level. See, I didn't need 2 ounces. If I put too much and there's like a clear layer of resin on it, then it's just gonna run where I don't want it. I do need a little bit more because this is like really, really pasty. Just a little bit more. And figure out what to do with the extra. That's pretty good, I think. I might need it a little more runny or I won't be able to get it where I want it to go. Now, if I added sand to the 2 ounces, what I would end up with is my extras being sand, which isn't a bad thing because sandy extra resin makes some really nice stuff too. But you don't have that option if you don't do it that way. I'm just gonna pour this on the bottom in some sort of a pattern. Get some behind these shells. I'm kind of going to go with the flow of the waves that I've already poured, which are kind of going in a pattern like this. I'm just going to follow like that would be the water line. That's pretty good. Not much left, which I could just stick it in, take up some space. Okay. So I'm just going to like make it so it's not so symmetrical. All right, that's it for now. I'm gonna get this curing. All right, my friends, it's been about an hour. The heat mat is on medium. It's not fully cured, but I can touch it without a problem. And I mixed up 8 ounces. This is my casting resin, the one that comes with the pump. And the reason I'm using that one is because you could pour it an inch deep. But before I mix it with the 2 colors, now this is hot, so I'm trying to stay off of the mat. I want to add in some shimmer. This is called Seriously Shimmery, and this one is not the rainbow. This has blues and greens. Did I grab the white one? Yes, blues and greens. So I want to add some shimmer into the water, and then I'm going to split it up. And then we're going to color it. So I'm just gonna get this pretty even so I don't have to put it between the 2 cups. And I don't think I'm going to put it through the vacuum chamber today, only because I'm okay with bubbles in a beach scene. If they happen to be there, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine too. You won't see much of them because of all the shimmer in there. So I'm going to split it 6 and 4. Now, I do want to tell you, when I was curing this, I checked on it and the sand was flowing. So I took old Shelly here and I propped her like this. So I propped and I pushed it back down where I wanted it and let it cure that way. Otherwise, half of the mold was going to be sand. So I'm just going to split my resin over here so it doesn't get hot too quick. So I'm going to do 6 and 4 because, well, that was 5, 4, one more. The most one is going to be the turquoise for this part because it's going to be covered by the sand, and then the 4 is going to be the aqua. So let's get these mixed up. Let me I want them transparent, but obviously I want enough color that we're going to see it. So let me grab my stick here. Then I'm just going to let it cure overnight. I'm not going to rush it. It's still really, really, really clear. So I'm just going to dump a bunch of alcohol ink in. You could test it on a paper towel if you want to see the actual color, because it's really deep in this cup, so it's definitely not going to be this color in there. Let me grab a paper towel. See how light that is? Too light. Gonna need more. That must be one of my favorite colors because it's almost gone. I hope I have another one. So this is going to go on the top of the clock. And then I'm going to have them, combine. It's so hard to get these colors deep with alcohol inks. I think I'm going to put a drip of Midnight. Or no, maybe Sapphire. 1, 2. I don't want to change it too much. I just want it a little bit deeper. That's pretty. Get it all off the stick because there was ink on it. We're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe a little bit more. Now I'm going to kind of pour them where I want them and then fill it in, because they tend to not mix together, which is weird to me. You almost have to make them mix. That looks pretty. I'm going to leave that. I think I'll leave that as it is. Okay, I'm just going to use my stick. And we're going to mix up. This one was turquoise. That shimmer is going to look gorgeous. You know what, guys? I just realized I split this wrong. I split it 4 and 4. Oh my goodness. I meant to do... Well, what am I thinking? Obviously, it's too late at night to do math right. I was thinking 10 ounces for the whole clock, but I only mixed up 8. So it should have been 6 and 2. We'll see what happens. I may be remaking this clock for her. All right, so what I'm gonna do is pour the blue, just a little bit, and then the green where I want it. Gotta get it up here. And the blue, trying to keep them in their places. I'm just gonna pour them together now. I'm really hoping we see some of the green. Where's my stick? Okay, I do have the heat mat on because I do want it to cure fairly quickly now, especially since I messed up the ratios. Spray it with alcohol. All right, so yeah, I don't think I'm gonna mess with the mixing it because it looks like it's mixing all together. So pray this works out good. I don't want to have to redo it, but if I have to, I will. You know, I only want happy customers. All right, see you when it's cured. Everything is cured, you guys. It is time for the reveal. Look at all these pendants. Can you see all these pendants? You guys, I will do these all off camera, but I will show you if you want to see how I finish my pendants. I have a whole video that I just did, so go back on my channel and check, but look at some of these colors I added. This is my Emerald Ocean, and if it looks that good in the video, can you imagine what I'm looking at? 10 times better. Emerald Ocean pendants. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Gorgeousness, gorgeousness. Earrings. Look at all those. Oh my goodness, they're beautiful. And then I took some of my Seriously Shimmery. I added it to the rest of the blue, and I got these out of it. So I'm gonna finish those off camera. I got one pendant out of the pink from the elk. That's it. I got one sand pendant. So I will put something beachy on there. And I added black glitter to some pendants from another pour that I did earlier today. And those are so beautiful. So I'm gonna finish all these. I will show you what they look like when I'm done. But I do have these that I did from another pour I did off camera. And I added my glitter, and I added a little turtle. I top coated these with UV resin already. Aren't they beautiful when they're done? I hope you guys like them that are getting them in your packages. I hope they're not getting chucked in the garbage. Okay, so this will be last. This was extra because I only used a little bit for the sand, remember? So I had all the extra. This is my pig mold with the Emerald Ocean that I put in here. So let's see what the little pig came out to be like. I did not put the release spray in this one, so I'm not sure. Now, you can't really see his face good because of this, so I might have to do something. Isn't he adorable? He's so small and he's so cute. I'm going to trim up the little bottom, give him a little face. Hopefully you'll be able to see him when I'm finished. So that is the little pig. And let's get the antlers out. Whoop. So shiny. One of these are new. I just got it in. So now I have 2 of them. So shiny. Okay, gold and pink. Let's start with the gold one. Let's see if we can get him out any easier with the mold release. I don't feel like it's much easier, but I'm sure it will keep my molds pliable for longer, so I do plan on using this no matter what. It's just the shape of the mold. His little head is so much bigger than the opening, so this one is always difficult. Here we go. Hopefully there are no bubbles in his head. No, there he is. How cute is he? So I'm gonna finish him off with the rest. Let's check out the pink one. I think this is my old one. Come on. These are just not easy to get out. Come on, you little guy. Girl, whoever you are. Come on. Here she comes. There she is. Here's the antlers. So I am going to give her a little makeover. All right, are we ready for the main event? Let's see which one goes to which. I think that's the old one and that's the new one. Gosh, I hope this worked. I really do, or I will be redoing it. I hope the UV resin is cured on this side. I think it is. Please let it be cured. Okay. Oh, it came out clean. No UV resin. Okay, I'm nervous. Oh, I like it. I do. It stayed transition. Can you see the difference? Green here. And then the blue. The waves came out nice. What do you think about those waves? One of my seashells is behind the line. That was stupid. And so is a starfish. You could kind of see them. But you could see the little shells in there. And the pearl. What do you guys think? Let me get a clock face. I'm not sure which one she's gonna want. But I'm thinking gold because it will look good with the sand. What do you think? I like it. I do, I really do. Pretty happy with it. Now I wish the sand went down the sides, but it doesn't. I guess you could do a second pour, but most people are gonna have it like that and you're not gonna see it anyway. Let me know what you think about those waves. Is it worth it? I wish there were cells in them, but cells don't seem to come out good in UV resin. There's the side, the green, blue. All right, well, I'm gonna finish this up, finish all this plethora of stuff, and I will come back and show you the final results. I am finally done. So between last night and this afternoon, I spent like 3 hours finishing all these pendants. and all these things with little embellishments. So I will show you the clock first. And I put on some shells and a starfish at the bottom so they could be a little bit 3D. And I sent her a picture and she liked it, so I hope her friend likes it, whoever she is giving it to. So that is the clock. I will get finishing pictures for everything. Now, as you can see, I have 2 pink ones. Why? Because this is the first one I made in the old mold, and it was kind of dull. So I'm going to save that for myself because it's not good enough to send out. So this is the one I'm going to send out, and look at her little necklace. She's very classy. She's got her earrings on, her antler rings on. So that is the pink one. And then this one's a little rebel. This one's wearing a choker chain. And she's got a little heart tattoo on her hip. And of course the earrings. I probably should have double pierced the elk horns. So those are those 2. And then this is my little pig. I colored the eyes and the nose, put pink lips. I know you probably can't see them, but there's rhinestones in the ears. It is just so sparkly and so cute. So he's going to be added to my collection right back there. I've got so much jewelry from the extras in this one. I have 3 pairs of pink earrings and 2 pink pendants. So that will go with one of them. This may go with one of them. That one's got a butterfly. So I top coated every single piece in UV resin to get that pretty shine. So those are the pink ones. And then I did some black, some really sparkly black. I was actually testing a black for an upcoming order in the next couple days, and this is going to be beautiful for it. So there's 2 pairs of earrings, 3 pendants. I didn't put a charm on all the pendants. Some of these little ones I just left. But I've got 3 not roses, 3 different flowers on that one, and then a little bow on that one. So those are so sparkly in person. Really, really pretty. I've got one that had sand left over. So I stuck a sand dollar on it. And then these were the ones I showed you earlier. I just finished them up. I put all the clasps on. Super pretty. I think this was my mermaid tail glitter, if I am not mistaken. I have a couple of blue from the ocean. So earrings, a turtle pendant, and this large pendant. I had an open bezel, so I filled it in with a little bit of pink UV resin, top coated everything with clear. So this one's really large. As you can see, it takes up a lot of 3 of my fingers. This could be a keychain if you wanted it to, but I don't have my keychain stuff in yet. And then these with the emerald ocean, that is absolutely gorgeous, especially top coated. So these are the plain ones. I don't put things on the long ones because it's like, looks a little strange in the center. And then I have 3 more pendants in the emerald ocean. I stuck a fish on this one. And this one. And this one. This one's got an anchor. This one's pretty large too. As you can see, it's pretty big. So if you are a channel member, remember you have access to all the photos that are coming up in just 1 second at all times. And if you are not, consider it. It would be supporting a great channel, keeping me on every single day for you guys. I appreciate you coming in. Thanks for watching, especially all of this extra stuff that I just happen to have to do because of the extra resin. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. Stick around for the last pictures. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.